Hey, welcome back to Film Explosion. Today we'll talk about why Dr. Phil hates Ellen DeGeneres. Let's get into it. Who is Dr. Phil? Phil McGraw, by name of Philip Calvin McGraw, also known as Dr. Phil, born September 1st in 1950 of Vinita, Oklahoma in the US, is an American psychologist, author, and television personality who gained fame following numerous appearances on The Oprah Winfrey Show and with his own daytime talk show, Dr. Phil. McGraw was attending a football scholarship at the University of Tulsa, Oklahoma, but turned his attention to psychology after an injury cut his athletic career short. He transferred, earning a BA in 1975 from Wichita Falls Midwestern State University, Texas. McGraw launched a career as a psychologist after receiving a master's and doctorate in clinical psychology from the University of North Texas. He joined his father, who is also a psychologist, as well as another partner to form a company that operates seminars on self-motivation and life skills across the country. Soon after establishing his own practice, however, McGraw realized that he did not have the patience for the subtleties and ambiguous timeframes of traditional talk therapy. He closed the practice and began conducting corporate consultant work.
My car doesn't cost $231,000.
Why not?
That just seems like an exorbitant amount to spend on a car. It just seemed foolish to me.
His show, Dr. Phil. In 2002, McGraw started his own show, Dr. Phil, produced by Winfrey's Harpo Studios, and an immediate hit was the one-hour program. McGraw, who avoided psychobabble and touchy-feely approaches, continued to remind his viewers that it was education, not 8-minute cures or true psychotherapy that he was offering. In his characteristically blunt but caring way, the program showcased McGraw's talent for dispensing real solutions to real problems.
Now, one teen we get asked about constantly is 14-year-old Gabrielle, who was couch surfing and smoking pot.
Who is Ellen DeGeneres? Before starring on her own sitcom, Ellen DeGeneres hit it big as a stand-up comedian. She emerged as a gay in 1997 and became a firm advocate of LGBTQ rights. Since 2003, she has hosted her own award-winning talk show, The Ellen DeGeneres Show, and married girlfriend Portia de Rossi in 2008. DeGeneres was born on the 26th of January in 1958 to an insurance salesman and a working mother who divorced when DeGeneres was a teenager in Metairie, Louisiana. DeGeneres dreamed of becoming a veteran when she was growing up, but gave up the idea because she was not a book smart. Instead, she waited for tables, sold vacuum cleaners, painted houses, and worked as a legal secretary. Vance, the older brother of DeGeneres, an actor and comedian and former correspondent for The Daily Show, has long been considered the family's humorous member. Then once, DeGeneres found herself scared by the crowd during a public speaking event and used humor to get through the experience. She was a hit and was offered to do stand-up comedy. She started performing in 1981, underpinned by moral and financial support from her mother.
Hey, Cardi B.
Hey!
Hey!
Hi!
Hi!
Her show, The Ellen DeGeneres Show. Her wit won over audiences, and with her own primetime sitcom, the self-titled television series Ellen, DeGeneres finally found success as an actress. The series was originally titled These Mine Friends, but renamed it in 1994. From that point, the show evolved as an ensemble effort from its beginnings into a DeGeneres showcase. The show faced strong criticism when the character of DeGeneres became the first lead in the history of sitcom to openly acknowledge its homosexuality on air in April 1997. An ABC affiliate declined to air the landmark episode in Birmingham, Alabama. Fearing controversies, some sponsors of the show included Daimler Chrysler withdrew ads.
I want to show you some real mistakes people made. It's time for one of my favorite segments. What's wrong with these signs?
Why do people hate Ellen? The cracks in this veneer began thin and narrow as the show became a daytime television juggernaut over the past 2 decades. Rumors circulated at the same time that DeGeneres was not as nice in person as the show portrayed her to be, but the cracks spread over the past year and became glaringly apparent from a memorable, uncomfortable November interview on her show. Months later, former employees began to talk about what a terror it was to work on the show. The discourse had continued to grow. Celebrities chimed in, some defending DeGeneres and some affirming what has been said by former employees. Other previous employees went to the record to address their own negative DeGeneres experiences. And finally, in July, 2 scathing reports were published about a nightmare workplace and producers sexually harassing the junior staff, leaving the show's public image and DeGeneres herself in disarray. DeGeneres admitted the show was having its faults. On one day of our show, I told everyone in our first meeting that the Ellen DeGeneres Show would be a place of happiness. No one would even raise their voice, and everyone would be treated with respect. DeGeneres wrote, apologizing in a letter to her staff about the report's allegations. Obviously something changed, and I am disappointed to learn that this has not been the case. And for that, I am sorry. Anyone who knows me knows it's the opposite of what I believe and I hope for her show. Dr. Phil hates Ellen. Everyone who knows Dr. Phil knows that he's a very kind person who fights for justice and against people people who mistreat others. He has stood up against other celebrities several times and proves that he stands behind his principles. Because of the mentioned reasons, it is obvious that Dr. Phil hates Ellen for how she treats other people, and he is right. He hasn't publicly spoken out against Ellen yet, but we assume that he will do so very soon. What do you think about Ellen? Do you hate her too? Let us know in the comments down below. This brings us to the end of our video. I hope you enjoyed it. Hit like if you did, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel so that you don't miss any of our videos in the future. Also watch the 2 videos that are on your screen because I am sure you will love them. With that, I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.